I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you.
Welcome to the Fuck Fentanyl podcast. I'm Luis Romero. I am the Fuck Fentanyl guy. Today I got my special guest, Bama. How you doing, Bama?
All right, man. What's going on?
So, Bama I met when I started to come to meetings again. I always knew he had a pretty interesting story, and I knew he was all about my brand, actually, from the moment I met him. And I really think he's a really cool guy. I really I always, but wanted to get him on my podcast. Actually, he was one of the people I had in mind. And I recently heard a little bit more in depth of his story the other day. So I'm really excited, man, to have you here, man. And shit, man, just start it wherever you want it to, man.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here. I grew up in a small town in Birmingham, Alabama. Grew up pretty poor or financially unstable, I'll say. As a kid, we always had a roof over our head. We always had something to eat, but, there might be times when the water or the power would go off for X amount of time or whatever. But I was born into addiction. Mm-hmm. My mom and my father are drug addicts and alcoholics, and their parents were drug addicts and alcoholics. And so I got to see that firsthand early on. And I remember thinking as a kid, I'll never do that. Yeah. Before I even knew what it really was, mm-hmm. It was in my mind, like, I will never do that.
Yeah.
But here I am.
It happened.
Yeah, it did. So I remember early on knowing that something wasn't right with my mom and dad's relationship, right? Yeah. And that there was some abuse there that I wasn't visibly seeing. I'm talking young, like early as I can remember. Mm-hmm. So, and then getting a little older to like 5, 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
The abuse was going on, like the verbal abuse and the physical abuse with my mom in front of me and my little brother. And my brother was a baby at that time. And I just remember being so scared for him all the time, even though he was a little bitty baby. And
you were trying to be kind of like his guardian in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so for sure it progressed. My dad, very mean drunk. Involved in a motorcycle gang that I'm not going to name.
Sure.
And,
gotcha.
Just was a mean drunk, man, and was physically abusive towards me early
He was
on.
like an intimidating man.
Yeah, absolutely. He was 6'10", 350 pounds.
Oh, wow. He was a big
fucking
guy.
Dude, yeah.
Wow, Jesus.
And, my mom was terrified of him, so I was terrified of him.
Oh, yeah.
Just off the rip. And so the physical abuse started going on with me. I guess the earliest I can remember is probably 7 years old, and we're working on a weed eater. I used to love to go out and work on the cars and the trucks and stuff with my dad, and we were working on a weed eater, and I was supposed to be holding it while he did something or another, and I dropped it, and it hit his knee, and he punched me right in the chest. Boom.
Oh, my God.
That's the first time I ever remember the physical abuse towards myself. But as time went on and things progressed, a little boy loves his mom.
Yeah.
Right. And
of course.
So when the abuse would happen, I would always try to stand up for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so that just kind of put me in the line of fire,
Of course it would.
And so as it got worse, I remember nights, my brother and I had a bunk bed. We shared a room.
Yeah.
And I slept on the top because I thought it was cool then.
Yeah.
And my brother would sleep on the bottom, but I would get out of my bed and sleep in his bed on the outside, so that if my dad come in, because he had done that a few times, he would come in the middle of the night and just start shit, you know.
Oh, Jesus. While you guys
So-
were trying to sleep?
Yeah, so he would jerk me out of bed instead of
Yeah.
my brother. You know, I kind of tried to take on that role. So, but things got really bad, dude. My mom wasn't allowed to work. She wasn't allowed to go to the grocery store alone.
Jesus
She wasn't
Christ.
allowed money. We didn't have a home phone. I was
Jesus.
never allowed to have friends spend the night. Never.
Yeah.
But I would go to church, Southern Baptist Church.
Oh, wow.
God.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
With my grandmother. But
Oof.
I went every fucking time the doors were open because those people were nice to me.
Oh, I bet.
So,
It's like a little
I mean, it
sanctuary.
was the attention that I never got at home. So I was there always. I mean, up until, you know, my story takes a turn later on. But
Okay.
so, yeah, dude, it progressively got worse really quick.
Yeah.
And there was just this bad incident with my mom and my dad, and there was a big fucking fight. And I got some scars here, but I tried to stop the fight, and my dad fucking put a cigar out on my arm right here.
Jesus.
And that's when I was like, dude, I got to do whatever it takes to get rid of this dude. Right?
Oh, wow.
But
you were already like,
yeah,
this guy needs to be
yeah,
out of
I was
he
like
needs to be out of the
10,
picture. Yeah.
you know, and, you know, thankfully, God did something that I couldn't do for myself. And, he caught 2 murder charges.
Wow.
And was sentenced to 299s run consecutive.
Wow.
So that's like no possibility.
So he'll never
He'll
get
never
out.
get out.
And
dead.
is he still alive?
He's dead now.
Oh.
He died in prison
He died
a
in
couple
prison.
years ago.
Oh, wow.
And so, but when he went to prison, my story really took a turn because my mom and him have been together since high school.
Oh,
And-
okay. They're high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's not my biological father either.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, right. So I never met my dad until way later in life when I
Okay.
got out of prison.
But this is the guy that you knew as your father.
Right. He adopted me when I was months old.
Okay, yeah.
And
Gotcha.
so when he went to prison, my mom went wild with freedom.
I bet.
And it was just like, I'll be back, watch your brother, I'm going to the grocery store. And then we wouldn't see her for 3 or 4 days,
Yeah.
sometimes a week, sometimes, you know. So it became, I had to grow up really young.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. So I did, but I didn't. So I thought growing up was running with the older guys, hitting licks, breaking in cars, breaking in houses.
Yeah.
I started doing experimenting with drugs.
Yeah.
So of course marijuana came first.
Yeah.
Well, actually alcohol came first.
Oh, alcohol, and then we
Yeah,
they
and
go
then
hand in
weed,
hand.
probably right around the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like 2000.
Okay.
I remember Y2K. I remember.
You were partying in Y2K?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was young as fuck. So, I mean, I was like 11 years old.
Wow. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, but I was up 2 houses up with the neighbors sneaking beers and shooting bottle rockets at each other and shit, you know. And
Damn, dude. I'm like literally almost that same age, and it was so different for me.
yeah, I mean, that's my neighborhood was really rough though, dude.
Yeah,
It was like it was just full of it.
Yeah.
You know, and so my mom would take off for those lengths of time, and our power and our water was off.
Yeah.
So I started hitting these licks and hanging out with the older guys and gang. I was initiated into a gang.
Okay.
Started doing all these drugs, dude.
Yeah.
And so first it was alcohol, then marijuana,
Yeah.
then came coke.
Okay.
And I didn't really like coke, even young, or
Oh,
even as
really?
I grew up.
You didn't like
I wasn't big on coke. It made me really paranoid. I didn't like to calm down.
Yeah, it can.
But then I tried Oxycontin.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this is the early 2000s when
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
easy access.
Green 80s, yeah.
Yeah. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
fucking
And how old were you when you did OxyContin?
11.
Fuck.
12.
Man.
Well, no, 12.
12. Okay.
12 years old.
Still very young.
Yeah. Yeah, we were fucking crushing them up and putting them on a bowl of weed and smoking 'em.
Oh, okay.
Or snorting little pieces of them
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. But opiates, just instantly.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Instant gratification.
Instant.
I
Fuck
didn't.
yeah, it
I
is.
didn't have to feel everything that had already went on.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to think about it. I just felt good.
Yeah.
I didn't care about going and hitting these licks. I was just doing whatever. You know
Yeah,
what I
you're in
mean?
your world.
all I wanted to do was impress these older people that I was hanging out with.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted
Validation.
to do. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that wound up getting me. I took a bunch of Xanax one night and I broke into 8, 9 cars in the neighborhood that I lived in.
Okay.
And I got busted. The next morning, I was walking down the road with a bag of shit that I'd just stolen out of somebody's car, and like school buses and cars were going by going to work, and I was still out fucking trying to steal shit.
Right. Always
So
more.
when I got back to the trailer, it wasn't probably an hour later. The cops were there, and I was arrested. And I was charged with 8 unlawful breaking and entering vehicles, which there's a felony in Alabama. I don't know if it is here or not, but
Well, not so much now.
yeah,
Probably.
but this was back then. So
Okay.
yeah, so this was my first time ever getting in trouble.
I see. And you were how old?
12,
12 years old.
Yep.
Jesus.
and well, like 12 and a half, close to 13.
Okay.
And I was given 9 months in juvenile. But
That's a lengthy sentence.
yeah, for your first time. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
what I
is.
thought too.
No, it is.
But I mean, I was drug tested. They were trying to put me on this drug court thing for juveniles, and
Oh, wow.
I was just dirty. I just burnt the bottom out of the cup, dude. So yeah, I got sent to juvenile, and then of course the gang banging carried on in there.
Yeah. Well, okay. Of course.
Yeah,
it is.
that's really where the criminal side of me really took off.
Yeah.
right?
Of course. Yeah.
So I wound up doing just over a year
Mm-hmm.
because I kept getting in trouble and I kept pushing my release date. And
Yeah.
when I was released, man, I thought I was the hardest 14-year-old that ever walked the
Oh,
streets
fuck
of
yeah,
my
you
neighborhood.
did.
Yeah,
Straight out of juvie.
yeah. I just thought like, no, I'm invincible.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what that feels like.
And I, unfortunately, when I got home, the day I got home, my mom had already engaged into a few-month-long relationship with this new guy.
Okay.
The dude even looked like my dad.
Oh,
So
God
I
damn.
instantly
She had a time.
hated him. Yeah. And he was verbally abusive that I had already seen just within a couple hours.
Yeah.
I could see that she was cowering, and you know what I mean?
And he was kind of like similar to your father, like a big guy.
Well, he's not nowhere near as big.
but
it's
like,
hard to find him that big.
Yeah.
You know? But
found a 7-foot dude this time.
yeah, but he was a grown man.
A
for
grown
sure.
man,
Yeah,
and he was
absolutely.
abusive, like exactly the
Absolutely.
same. So it kind of carried on the same characteristics.
Absolutely, like even the bald head and
jeez.
biker look.
Right.
Just all of it.
Yeah.
And so on like my second or third day, I think it was my third day out, my life changed.
Yeah.
And we were hanging out, and it was getting late, and the guy had passed out on the couch drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom allowed me to smoke cigarettes or pretty much do whatever I want once I got out of juvie, you know? And so I was like, hey, let's go smoke a cigarette. And she shared her last cigarette with me on the porch.
Okay.
And shortly thereafter or during, dude woke up and come outside and wanted that fucking cigarette. And so she's like, we just smoked it. And he was all fucking pissed. And
Really?
he threw a glass ashtray and knocked her front teeth out. Busted her lip.
Right in
busted
front of
her-
you.
Right in front of me.
Oh my God, dude.
And like instantly, I think that's the first time that I ever remember feeling real rage. Like
fuck yeah.
blinding, can't see straight.
Oh yeah.
My head was on fire, like fucking
Oh, yeah.
rage. And like I said, this dude's a pretty good sized dude. I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't like my dad, but he was a big guy.
Big guy, yeah.
So I left.
Okay.
I just left. I went and got high, and I stayed gone a couple days. And when I came back home, I had been at the house for a couple of hours, fucking off in the room. And I come back out of my room, and dude was asleep on the couch.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the kitchen. I got a kitchen knife.
Yeah.
And I started stabbing him while he was asleep.
Yeah.
And my mom just walked in to the room as it was going on, and she was punching me in the back of the head.
Trying
and
to stop you.
just screaming, and it was like I didn't even feel it. I just,
Yeah. You were in the zone.
Once I started, it was like I was doing it to my dad. It wasn't even him anymore.
That's what I was thinking too. Like,
yeah, it was like everything that my dad had done, you know.
It all came right
come
back.
out right then.
Yeah.
And so after it was over, you know what I mean? I'm covered in blood. My mom's covered in his blood. And my mom runs off into the bathroom and she takes a fucking whole bottle of sleeping pills, tries to kill herself.
Oh my God, right then and there.
So I had to call 911. And I was sticking my fingers down my mom's throat, trying to make her puke the pills up.
Yeah.
Waiting on the cops and the ambulance to get there.
Yeah.
And when they get there, they thought that she might have done it to him because of her trying to kill herself. And I had to speak up and be like, no, I did it, you know?
Yeah.
I was instantly arrested and charged and was taken to juvenile holding. And I sat there for like 4 months. Well, the dude wound up dying later that night.
Yeah.
And so they come in and they told me I was being charged with murder, which they took me to the county jail.
Okay.
And booked me in and put me in an isolated cell because I was 14.
Yeah. Wow. So they had you in an adult detention facility.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I was in a cell by myself.
Of course, yeah. Not
just being charged. I was told I was just being charged. Whatever. So then, come to find out, before the guy died.
Yeah.
When I told my story to the cops and the detectives and all this stuff, after hours of sitting in a fucking room.
Oh fuck yeah.
Just being questioned.
First
and
48 vibes,
dude,
100%.
Insane, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How can you guys do this? Like, I'm a minor. You know, that's all I kept thinking was like, you can't arrest me.
Right.
And I was like, this dude hit my mom, you know? And,
Yeah.
And they finally told me after hours of interrogation that my mom said he never hit her.
Oh my fucking God, dude.
Yeah.
Really? She lied?
Yeah. Well, I know now that she was sick, right?
Yeah.
She was scared.
Oh, I bet she was.
You know? And if dude would have made it through, she was scared for her own life because of what I just did. Right? So,
I see.
But that ruined mine and my mom's relationship for a long time.
I can see that.
Anyway, I everything progresses and I wind up taking a 15-year deal.
15-year.
Yeah.
And that's 15 flat?
Yeah, I was charged as I was 15 flat. I was charged as an adult, and
Jesus.
I was sent to I hit the prison yard at 16 years old.
16 years old?
I was in the county.
Yeah, you were in
quite
county
some time,
for during the court and all that.
And trial and everything.
And then 16 years old, they send you to an adult prison yard.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
And then throughout my time there, I'd seen it happen to a couple other kids too. Still up there at 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
I cannot fucking imagine, dude.
Yeah, it's insane.
How was that, their first day?
It's terrifying.
As a 16-year-old kid
Terrifying.
going, Jesus.
Alabama prison's gnarly.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still had the chain gang back then.
No way.
Yeah.
Like who had Luke? Like just
Yeah,
fuck.
dude. They only recently got rid of chain gang in Alabama and Georgia.
Oh my
Like in
God,
the last 5-6
dude.
years.
Like the fucking
Maybe a
120
little.
degrees summer fucking.
Yeah, insane.
Like, oh.
No heat, no air.
Oh my.
Prisons there, level 4 prisons like I was on are just big warehouses with bunk beds wall to wall.
Jesus fucking
And
Christ, dude.
yeah, so
I do not want to live in Alabama.
no, you don't. It's so beautiful there, but it's not where it's at.
Yeah. I was very aware of the red politics that go on, and you know there's certain crimes that would get you put away for life.
Yeah.
There versus here would be like a slap in the wrist in comparison.
Yeah, I got homies that's doing life in prison for cultivating marijuana.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like shit like that. That's why I'm like, oh hell no.
Yeah, it's gnarly. Marijuana's still a felony there.
I bet
Over
it
a
is.
certain amount, it's still a felony. Yeah, it's crazy.
But
The Bible Belt, dude.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Whatever, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're crazy conservative.
very dude, and whatever. God bless them and all that, but my God, like it's crazy, man, and definitely I could feel a lot more stigma coming from that environment than, versus here in San Diego, we're pretty, we're like a recovery, like,
Yeah, the recovery's insane.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like we really are recovery friendly as it gets.
Yeah.
I just feel like that. And Jesus, man. And so all right, so you got sentenced to prison, you're 16 years old, and then, yeah, you're pretty much, I mean, I can only imagine they're just baiting you to get to do
Oh, absolutely.
all the bullshit in there.
And I was also like really struggling to sleep.
Yeah.
Because of the event that happened.
Well, fuck yeah.
I immediately developed like some type of extreme PTSD.
Oh yeah.
And like it was like almost every night, either I would lay there thinking about it obsessively
Yeah.
and couldn't fall asleep,
Yeah.
or I would fall asleep and I would dream about it vividly and wake up screaming, fight like I could. Even after getting released from prison as an adult,
You
like,
still felt that.
I did. I just started taking medication early on in my recovery that has really been a game changer.
Oh wow.
But like it would be so intense sometimes, like I could still taste his blood in my mouth, like just insane.
Jesus fucking
insane.
Christ. Yeah, I fucking can imagine, dude. And so it's haunting you while you're in prison, and then you're in this environment
Absolutely.
that like pretty much encourages like violence.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Level 4.
And I was all over the news, all over the TV, so everybody already knew what I
They
did.
already know who you were.
Absolutely. And
Jesus.
so in county, I was like thinking to myself, I was like, maybe I can go to prison and not gangbang and just do my time, right?
Oh
And,
yeah.
That didn't happen.
No.
Not at all. So
Is it like politicking in there?
no, not like it is here. Not
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
There's no racial politics because there's predominantly only 2 races.
Forgot. Gotcha.
And being Caucasian, you're on the lower end of the scale there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see. I feel
it's
that.
predominantly African American.
Yeah. No. I could see that. I can.
Maybe a handful of Mexicans in every prison. That's about it.
Oh no.
Yeah. So immediately I was approached by my gang on day 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they spot
because
you.
other guys that I was in juvenile gangbanging with were already in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean?
So you just felt like naturally that
Right.
that was gonna happen.
Right. And at the same time, again, I just wanted that validation. I just wanted to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to be recognized or be cool or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just belong.
Yeah. I belong
That's all I
here.
really ever wanted was to
Yeah.
belong.
Because they make you feel like, and I'm just saying from my personal experience, like they make you feel like you're family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they care about you.
Yeah.
But
that in the gang that I was in, again, I'm not gonna name names.
of course,
it was a mixed race gang,
Yeah.
which really got me into a lot of shit
yeah,
with both races
of course,
in
yeah.
prison.
Yeah.
But again, the politics don't exist there
Mhm.
out loud, right?
I see.
But the white guys don't like white guys that fuck with black guys, and the black guys don't like white guys
Mhm.
that don't fuck with white guys.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's this whole complicated little
Yeah,
mess.
it's insane, dude. And
I can see that.
so I was like a crash test dummy for sure.
Yeah.
I was sent to do all the stupid shit
Of
that
course.
I was gonna get either beat the fuck up
Yeah.
or violated by my own set or fucking put in lockup for however long, you know. And so that went on for quite some time, dude.
Yeah.
And I was just doing whatever the fuck they say.
And then during all this, you're trying to fit in prison per se, and you are also exposed to drugs.
Yeah, absolutely. I got high every day.
Yeah.
Suboxone and crystal meth.
Oh, well,
Just fucking flooded
yeah.
in the prison system in Alabama.
I see.
I didn't see heroin in prison for the first time until like I had been locked up 5-6 years.
Oh no, shit! So you're already
Yeah.
down for a minute.
Yeah, and but yeah, I was getting high every day. I was doing tattoos or drawing stencils for tattoos for people.
The little hustles.
writing poems to dudes, ladies.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, just well, I
Pretending they're your dad.
I didn't get any money from the street, so like my aunt would send me $50 a month, and she would write me a letter every other week.
Oh wow!
And she was my biggest support system while I was in prison.
Wow, well,
if I
that's
got
nice to have
anything, any visits, mail, phone calls,
It was from her.
It was from her.
Wow.
She's always been like a mother to me.
Oh
and,
wow. In a way, like that might have maybe gave you a little hope then.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I was writing my mom from prison like all the time, and it wasn't until I got out and went home and she had left the house and went to Nebraska on some tweaker mission, and I found like piles of unopened letters from me from prison.
Shit.
Yeah, so it was heartbreaking, to write. I in the 11 and a half years that I served, I probably got 3 letters from my mom.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Never got a visit.
Yeah.
My aunt come to visit me probably 3 times the whole time I was locked up.
Oh.
Because I was always so far out, I mean, I was in state prison, so I was in state, but it was still just a mission,
Yeah.
I was either way down south or
course,
way up north.
It's kind of similar to here, but
yeah.
they would ship you away and make it hard for your family.
Absolutely.
Families
And there is a prison like an hour away from where I grew up, but of course.
That it wasn't there.
Yeah. They actually try to keep people from Birmingham out of that prison.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's local and
that makes sense actually. Yeah, because then they're gonna be connected and okay. That kind of makes sense.
And the only real politics that I ever experienced is like where you're from.
Oh.
Right? It's so you ride with your city over your set.
Yeah.
And
Get that.
race don't really matter. We have to intermingle.
Yeah.
In there. So.
Oh, okay.
But I guess I was about 4 years in my term, and I got into a fight over some stupid shit. Somebody trying to run game.
Okay.
Gotcha. I borrowed what we call a matchbox of weed, which is like $50
Okay.
worth of weed.
Yeah.
And I got it on credit. Store day came, I paid my bill. Next week when store came, dude come up was like, "You never paid me."
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. So
Drama.
I wind up, yeah, dude, insane. I wind up hitting the dude with a fucking broomstick. And so I went to bed that night and I woke up and I got stabbed right here.
Holy shit.
And I immediately got my arms up here and I got stabbed here. And
Yeah.
here.
You use that too.
And that one right there was bad.
Shit. You still got the scar.
Yeah, it went all the way down to the other side. It didn't break the skin on the other side. It was just like poked out.
Yeah. Jesus.
So I got stabbed a few times and I had to go to the infirmary, get patched up,
Yeah.
And I got sent to lockup. I got sent to lockup because
you're the guy that got stabbed.
Yeah, but it all came out. The broomstick incident.
Yeah, okay.
It all came out in the shift office, and I got closed out, which means they put me in lockup until I was reclassified.
Wow.
As a level 5.
Holy shit! There's another level there.
Yeah, in Alabama it goes to level 5.
Oh
yeah.
Fuck. So that's like, what is it like a
It's
shoe?
maximum security. No, it's not the shoe. There's 3 level 5 prisons in Alabama. One of which is Holman, which is death row.
Oh, I see.
And then there's West Jefferson, and then there's St. Clair.
Wow.
I got sent to St. Clair after doing almost a year in solitary.
Wow.
Which made me nuts.
Oh,
right?
fuck yeah.
I remember, the cinder blocks on the walls in prison.
Yeah.
I had ants in my cell, so I was fucking like just nuts, dude.
Yeah.
And each line of the fucking cinder blocks, if the ants crossed it, I was like, it's like a militarized zone. I'm just fucking squishing the ants, dude. And they're smart, bro. They'll go around the other way. And it'll take hours for them to try to come back that way.
Oh
yeah.
shit.
So I would sit there and fuck with ants all day, sing and talk to myself.
Yeah.
And fucking fight with dudes in other cells just to have something to do.
Yeah.
At the door and
fill up some void in your life.
yeah, absolutely, bro. At least I didn't go nuts like coloring with shit on the walls. and
Okay,
stuff,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Because there
that's
are
the-
those guys in there.
Oh,
dude.
for sure.
Yeah.
They're just so far gone.
Yeah.
They gave up.
Yeah, absolutely. But the first week I was in lockup, I kicked Suboxone.
Oh,
I didn't realize
the
you
withdrawals, the opiate withdrawals.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I had no clue because in prison they break a strip up into 16 pieces,
Oh, because they're
right?
small.
And so I had to hustle for everything I got. So I would do a 16th at a time. I might get lucky and do 3 or 4 in a day,
Okay.
right? But it wasn't that much. But I guess I've been doing it for a couple of years.
Okay.
And
You developed the
when
tolerance.
when I got put in lockup, dude, I was fine the first couple nights, but on like day 3, like restless legs, restless arms, couldn't sleep, the insomnia, and it was just gnarly, bro. I was like, oh my God, this is just like kicking heroin.
Fuck.
And
Yeah.
but I did that time, right? And then I was reclassified and sent to St. Clair. And
Okay.
once I got to a level 5 prison where all these dudes are doing life without parole, 35 years, 50 years.
Big stints. Big.
And they are all high profile cases.
Yes.
So when you get there and they check your paperwork and see you're not a chomo or anything, I pretty much rode out, dude. I stopped getting in trouble.
Really?
Yeah, I just was able to do my time.
Wow.
You know?
No shit. So being in the higher level actually
Yeah,
got you out
absolutely.
of the mix.
Yeah. So the level 4s are full of youngsters that are trying to prove themselves.
Trying to be,
and-
I get that.
Yeah. So when I got to level 5, it was just like I coasted out.
They already established themselves.
Right.
There's no need to prove anything.
And
Gotcha.
so in Alabama, they have probably one of the best good time laws in the country.
Okay.
Or at least they did then.
Okay.
I don't know what it is now, but
Okay.
and it depends on the time of sentence and what class felony.
Yeah.
But your good time laws differ.
Okay.
Anyway.
Gotcha.
So after a few years there, I mean, I had a few incidences, phones, tattoo guns,
Okay.
drugs,
Little
whatever.
infractions.
Yeah. I was there 11 years, 3 months, and 18 days.
Okay.
And on 11 years, 3 months, and 17 days, they called me up to the shift office. And they're like, do you have somebody to bring you clothes, or do we need to buy you a bus ticket? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You were not expecting that.
And they're like, you haven't gotten any trouble in over a year. They gave you your good time back. You're going home tomorrow.
Wow.
And I was just mind blown. Instant shit in my pants. Like, what the fuck?
Wow, that's crazy.
You know,
it's not a whole
I
parole
had over
board
3 more years to go.
process.
Yeah, no parole. No,
Yeah.
I had already went up for parole twice and been denied.
Oh shit. So they're just like, okay, you didn't get in trouble, so now you can go.
Yeah, so there was a huge overcrowding issue
Oh,
too.
that too, that
There were like 212% over capacity.
Oh fuck.
Like the gyms were being shut down and bunk beds put in gyms. And
Jesus.
just all over the place,
So,
dude.
so all that kind of worked in your
So
favor.
the rest of the country, they're taking the bunk beds down and making it single beds. In Alabama, they're trying to make them triple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not
Four. Let's throw
literally.
4 beds in
Yeah,
there.
not literally, but it's that crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because of all the stupid, senseless
Yeah.
laws that
Yeah. Because you're keeping the guys in there for long periods of
stupid
time.
shit, dude. Yeah. They should have been out in no time on a program or something, right? But also during that time at the level 5 at St. Clair, they have this program called Therapeutic Community. And it's a behavior modification
Oh,
program.
I've heard
It's
of that.
18 months long.
Oh shit.
And I did it and I graduated. And that's what got me my good time.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. So you kind of proved yourself.
Yeah, I just wanted I was just hoping to maybe get class back down and eventually maybe go to, or when I got out.
Like a
I wanted
minimum
to-
security prison.
Right. I wanted to go to work release or something, but I was restricted. I was never going to go to work release.
I see.
But I could at least go back down to like a couple prisons they have are like level 3 and 4
Yeah.
mixed. So half of the people go out to work and the other half are stuck there.
Gotcha.
But they have a lot more programs that get you like GED programs
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
which none of the prisons I went to had.
Yeah. You're
You
always
could take the GED test there, but they don't have classes to teach you shit, and you have to pay for it out of pocket.
Yeah.
So that was out of the question for me.
Yeah. Man, so you got like the best news of your life.
Yeah, you're going home.
And unexpectedly.
Right. And I called my aunt and was like, I'm getting out tomorrow. Do I need to take a bus or can you come get me? Of course, she come and got me, you know. And I remember being so nervous, bro. Just waiting that morning, dressed out in what they release you in khakis, and state boots, and a fucking beige polo shirt.
Yeah.
And, you know, I left, got in the car, got going down the road, first gas station that I seen, I was like, stop. You know, I went in, I got a 20-ounce Budweiser. And
celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was also in the car trying to navigate how to work a touchscreen phone. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So
I wouldn't know how to do that.
They had Razor phones when I got locked up. The Razor.
Okay,
Razors,
yeah. I had one of those.
The flip phones.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember those.
that's what everybody was getting when I got locked up.
Oh, okay.
And when I got out in 2016,
The
iPhone,
Galaxy,
and
then
all that
they're
shit
taking
had
off.
already really took off. And so my aunt had this little, it wasn't an iPhone or a Galaxy for sure, but just a little cheap, you know, touchscreen phone, and I'm trying to play with it and figure stuff out.
You're like,
you know,
wow.
yeah, it was insane. I mean, of course, in prison they had a lot of phones too, but not touchscreens.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, and then we stopped at McDonald's, and I was just I went inside to McDonald's, and it was early morning, so there was
breakfast.
several people in there. Yeah.
Okay.
And just being in there, being around people, I got so nervous that I vomited.
No
in the garbage
way.
can. Yeah, at McDonald's in front of everybody. I couldn't make it to the bathroom. I just fucking in the garbage can.
Welcome back to society.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so it was a long ride back home, and of course, you know, my little brother and a couple his girlfriend at the time with his kid, with her kid. I'm meeting the kid for the first time. You know, I got old friends that my mom and my aunt have told that I'm home, and they're all showing up in the yard, and we're out in the front yard, of course, smoking a blunt. And, after about 10 minutes of being out there, I was just like, it's good to see all you guys, but I need you guys to go. I just can't. There's too much.
Too overwhelming.
There's too much going on. You know what I mean? It was just too much.
Oh yeah.
And my drinking just really, really took off.
No shit, dude.
That's how I coped.
Yeah.
You know, with the PTSD that I was still dealing with, along with all the incidents that happened in prison that I'm not even really going to go into detail about.
Of course.
You know, just a lot of fucking trauma.
Yeah,
and PTSD,
all of it just came right back.
Yeah, so I was drinking on a regular basis to cope, and to cope with the fact that I felt extremely left behind.
Yeah.
You know, I got locked up at 14. I got out when I was...
You didn't really get to be a teenager, really. Yeah. You didn't get to have
And
that.
I was locked up a year before that in juvenile.
Yeah.
So I was only out for like 3 weeks.
Days. Yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah.
All in all, I was only out for like 3 weeks or so. Probably less. I think it was less. But like there was no time in between. And
almost like you just kind of got robbed of a childhood.
Absolutely. I did.
From just being in the system.
And learning what it means to be a man in prison is not where you want to learn how to be a man.
Oh, fuck no.
Right? Yeah. So I carried all that with me too. Every little thing I felt so disrespected. And my temper was just off the charts. And so I was just drinking a lot, dude. And I'm not a nice drunk. I'm really...
Yeah, I don't think you would be getting out of prison.
Yeah. And
feeling all that.
I guess it was a week that I had been out. Well, day one I did GHB that night.
Yeah.
And that was my first time ever doing it. But I didn't really care for it too much. And then like a week in, one of the guys that I was in prison with that was now out and was friends with my brother, and I was living with my little brother at the time. He gave me a job.
Yeah.
Doing tree work, you know. And this guy that we worked with that was in prison with me for a short amount of time, he was like, "Hey, dude, my neighbor sells crystal. If you still fuck with it."
Oh shit.
And so I was like, "Really?"
Mhm.
He's like, "Yeah, dude." So of course I went straight over there, introduced myself, and I was amazed at the amount of dope you can get for $20 on the street.
Street prices.
Yeah, I was like,
Woo.
I get all this, dude?
I
$20?
got really?
Yeah. And so I made the huge mistake of going directly back over across the street and going to the bathroom and doing it all at one time.
All the crystal?
One shot, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that must have gave you a little trip.
Oh, man. They kicked me out.
This guy's a weirdo.
They
Get
took
him
me
out.
back to my mom's house. Dude, I was digging in the carpet. Couldn't fucking stop, bro. And they took me to my mom's house, and she's like, "Oh my God, come in." And she's like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I took some Adderall. I'm fine." You know?
Yeah.
But I'm fucking tearing the carpet up off the seams on the
Fuck yes.
corners and shit.
Fuck yes.
Just
Fuck
fucking
yes.
spun out, bro.
It needs a little work on. Let me help you.
Yeah. And yeah, so but crystal really was like a secondary. I loved it, but it was like a secondary because it fucking did me dirty, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just wasn't a good tweaker. And I really didn't want to get back on heroin. I really, really didn't. So crystal meth become my weekend deal,
Okay, sure.
and I would drink
Okay.
7 days a week.
So you drink every day, and then meth was kind of a little extra, like
Yeah.
on the side.
Yeah, but between the two of them, I quickly burned all my bridges.
Yeah, I can see that.
And even before that, really, I was out of prison, I guess I'd say a couple of weeks. And I was arrested for shoplifting hamburger meat from Walmart.
Yeah. Was it completely like one of those like unnecessary like just
Yeah, absolutely. Just like, the theft? No, I needed
Oh,
food.
you needed it? Okay.
I needed food.
That was okay.
But it was only like one of those little 1 pound logs, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're
I
talking
stole that, and I think it was some earrings
Mhm.
and a pack of big lighters. Right, it's like $6
Nice.
worth of shit, bro.
That's like the common stuff I would steal.
They took me to fucking jail,
Really?
to Adamsville City Jail, dude, and misdemeanor shoplifting.
Oh god damn.
It was $100 cash bond.
Uh-huh.
No one would come and get me.
Oh god.
I sat in jail for a little over a week waiting to go to court.
Yeah.
And after being in prison that long, coming to a city jail where you're stuck in a cell
Oh god,
with
yeah.
no TV, with no cellmates.
Oh yeah.
There was like 2 other people in the whole jail.
Fuck,
Right.
dude.
And it's just a little bitty rinky dink jail.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
It has 3 cells for the men, 2 for the women, way on the other side.
Uh-huh.
And they feed you little fucking 99-cent banquet meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh,
So you're fucking starving.
yeah.
And it just sucked, bro. It sucked.
Jesus.
And I got out, and I was this was before I had moved in with my brother, and I walked up to the fucking. I had my own phone now, so a friend of mine gave me a phone. I still wasn't really savvy on how to use it or what Wi-Fi was, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I didn't have minutes or a plan or anything like that on the phone. I just had a phone.
Just
And I would connect to Wi-Fi at whatever house I was at. And I was at this public library, and I was trying to figure out how to connect to their free Wi-Fi from outside. It was on a Sunday, so the library was closed.
Yeah.
And I finally got it to connect, and I called my mom, and I called my brother, and I was like, I'm sorry, but I can't do this.
Mhm.
They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm gonna burn this fucking library down and wait on the cops to get here and take me to jail.
No shit, dude.
I was like, I can't do this, and I'm not going back to no fucking city jail. I need to go back to prison.
Yeah.
I need to go back to prison. That's all I could think. Like every day for the first 2 months of being out was, I need to go back. Like out here, all my friends, everybody that I associated with was either 1 already dead, 2 they were in prison now, or 3 they grew the fuck up and moved on.
Moved on. Yeah.
Right? So they had wives, families, careers, kids, cars, jobs, all this shit that I thought was so out of reach for me.
Yeah. So you just got out and you just felt alone.
I just felt so alone, dude. And in prison, I developed a reputation.
Mm-hmm.
I had friends.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody fucked with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I needed cigarettes or food, or I could get it.
Yeah.
Out here, I just stole hamburger meat and went to jail.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to go back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where I was somebody, where I felt like I was somebody.
Yeah. You felt like you belonged there.
Yeah. And so of course I didn't burn the place down. I listened.
Good.
I listened to my brother. He's the only one that talked me out of it. You know? And he was like, "You can come and stay here. I'll give you a job. Just give this a real shot." You know.
Yeah.
And I burned that bridge later on because of my drinking. And,
Okay.
so I met this chick on Facebook.
Okay.
And she was talking to me about going to Celebrate Recovery, or
Oh,
you know, so
okay.
she was talking about recovery, and I was really trying to stop drinking and drugging.
Okay, gotcha.
I wanted to try to stop. I should say that. I wasn't really trying to stop, but I thought I might want to stop.
So there was a desire.
There was a desire, a small one.
Yeah.
But initially, really, I was like, I could just say that I'm not doing it and hook up with this chick that's in recovery, whatever.
Yeah.
But come to find out, she was kind of doing the same thing.
Oh, we got you.
She was actually still using too.
Yeah. I see.
And, you know, so we were just kind of both lying to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah. We're both
off
playing the
rip.
part, and
Yeah.
then to find out, oh, we're actually
So we meet, we hang out twice,
Mhm.
and I'm convinced I'm in love. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
And my brother's like, no way, this chick can't, because I'm like trying to find somewhere for us to live together.
You made plans?
Yeah, dude. Well, the second time we hung out, her folks kicked her out because she stole the truck.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
just
Yes.
immediate toxic, and I loved
And
it.
you know, fuck
I
yeah.
fucking loved it.
Don't
dude.
worry, babe. I got you.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I fucking loved it. And
Those red flags.
So my aunt opened up her doors to me and her,
Yeah.
and we went and moved in with my aunt.
Wow.
And slept on a couch in a 1-bedroom apartment.
It was just perfect.
It was perfect.
Yes.
And then my aunt was letting us borrow the car and
Yeah.
fucking, you know what I mean? Just like every day. Because God, I love my aunt with all my heart, and I couldn't have made it through life without her, but she is such an enabler.
Of course.
You know, because she just wants to see the good in people. She refused to see the addict that I was. She refused. And I allowed that to keep me sick for a really long time.
Of course.
You know.
Your addiction wants to
Right.
exploit that.
So I can make up any story, the wildest, most unbelievable story in the world
And she'll accept it.
right now. And I could call my aunt and say, I need $100 or this dude is going to fucking blow my head off
Yeah.
because I stole his dog
Yeah.
and took it to a dog show. So just the wildest, most imaginable
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And she would fucking send me the $100.
Wow.
Still to this day.
Oh yeah.
So
She's a
she-
very kind person.
so kind.
Yeah.
One of the kindest people I've ever met my whole life. And so she opened her doors to us, and we extremely took advantage of her
Yeah.
and her kindness and her love,
Yeah.
and her money. And, you know, I didn't have to steal from her. All I had to do was ask,
Yeah.
and she'd give it.
Yeah.
And so we probably made it a year before we started doing heroin. It was just crystal meth every fucking day. And again, I am not good at tweaking.
Yeah. Not pleasant. Not
No.
pleasant.
So I just got tired of feeling like I was crazy,
Yeah.
you know? And just all the sneaking and fucking lying and manipulating and hiding, and just drove me crazy, you know? But immediately, one of these days we were talking about quitting, and we were looking for some marijuana, pulled up at a gas station in the ghetto.
Yeah.
Guy pulled up, what you looking for? Like an eighth.
Yeah.
Some good bud.
Yeah.
And he was like, I got that boy.
What?
This is heroin.
Ah, that's like
And
gotcha.
I went and got in his car without a fucking thought.
Yeah, no boundaries or nothing.
Probably 3 years since I had touched an opiate.
Wow.
And I just went and got in the car.
Yeah.
And bought a sack.
Yeah. Like almost you were waiting for it almost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it really wasn't even in the forefront of my mind. But when he said it,
And then
there was no thought whatsoever. I just went and got it.
Roll.
Yeah. And she was an ex-heroin addict too. So,
I see.
So immediately that took
You guys can bond.
took all the way the fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
And so of course it got to that point, you know, we're living in hotel rooms.
Yeah.
She's selling herself.
Yeah.
I'm allowing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was other girls there that were selling themselves, and I just fucking sat in a hotel and got high all day.
Yeah.
You know?
And you felt like it was the life. Like,
Yeah,
this
dude.
is
I
the
thought
life.
I was a fucking king.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course.
Pimp Daddy Bama. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what they call you?
No, not hardly, bro.
But your mind.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh God. So you're living in these hotels. You're living the full on heroin junkie.
Yeah, the junkie
lifestyle.
dream, bro.
Yes.
No car,
Yeah. Of course.
right? So it you know, this disease is progressive
Yeah.
and fatal.
Of course. It is.
And so of course it progressed to where being a junkie of that magnitude, I guess it gets hard to sell yourself at the rate that you need to make enough money to sustain it, right? And that happened.
Okay.
And so we went from hotel living to abandoned houses to tents.
Yeah.
To couch surfing to tents, to
Yeah.
couch surfing to tents,
Yeah.
to wherever we could get, wherever we could go, however we could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, along the path of those 3 years that me and her were together, there were several overdoses.
Yeah.
Her and me,
Yeah.
but predominantly her. She was just one of those.
Oh yeah.
You know
yeah,
that.
I know a couple of those.
Yeah, they would just go out, you know, every fucking time. It's
Yeah.
like, dude.
Jesus.
But
And how would you bring her back?
you know, the crazy thing is I don't ever recall us having Narcan ever.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
So just smacking,
The good old fashioned
cold showers,
Yeah.
fucking,
Yeah.
just
All the old methods.
yeah. It just gets really fucking gnarly, bro.
Yeah.
And it did, and so fast forward to the end of our relationship,
Mhm.
right?
And how old were you when this was all like
This was 2019.
19? Okay,
Yeah, so I had been out for a few years.
a few years. And
Yeah,
And
4
this
years, almost 4 years.
this relationship was obviously
From about a couple of months after I got out of prison, me and her were together up until 2019.
and then
When she
gotcha.
passed.
and then now it's all coming to an end. With the lifestyle.
Well, it was abrupt. It wasn't desired. You know, we had the pipe dreams of coming to California and
Oh, no shit.
and going to couples treatment.
Yeah.
Because we were looking into that.
Yeah.
You know, couples treatment facilities where you don't have to be married, and
Okay. Gotcha.
but it's a pipe dream because neither one of us had insurance, neither one of us had jobs, neither one of us had money.
Yeah.
You know, but November of 2019, I hit a lick. I stole some shit,
Okay.
and I got a safe and it has some money in it.
Okay.
So I went, paid off my debt to my dope dealer.
Okay.
Bought a gram,
Okay.
and I did my shot first.
Yeah.
I was fine. She did her shot. She went out,
Yeah.
and I tried to get her back, and I couldn't.
Oh Jesus.
And I just waited too long to call the paramedics,
Yeah.
and she died in my arms.
Oh my God.
And that changed my life.
Yeah.
Again, another huge
Yeah.
turning point in my life. And So over the period of the next few weeks, dude, I was just grief stricken.
Oh, fuck
you
yeah.
know, like I had never experienced emotional pain like that.
Oh, yeah.
Our relationship was so toxic and so bad most of the time,
Yeah.
but I loved that girl
Oh, yeah.
more than I had ever loved any other human being.
It's interesting that junkie bond you
Yeah.
have with the significant other. It's so
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
As dysfunctional as you know, you probably know, you're aware that it's not gonna really probably work out, but you're just so invested and your heart is all in. And I
Yeah.
could fucking see that being fucking just being so traumatic and terrible, man,
Yeah.
to witness that. And the feeling after, man, it must have been fucking terrible, dude.
It was terrible. I was fucking cooking up shots and squirting them in the floor.
Yeah.
I was terrified to fucking get high,
Yeah.
but I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was spending so much money because I was wasting so much of it just because I was scared of it.
Yeah.
I was literally cooking shots, pulling it up, sticking it in my arm, registering, pulling it out, squirting it in the floor,
Yeah.
cooking up another one,
Yeah.
doing the shot, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just bad until I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I want to fucking die.
Mhm.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Mhm.
So I'm like buying 4, 5, 6 bags, and I'm doing them.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. But I'm at this trap house with a bunch of other friends that all get loaded too.
Yeah.
And so every fucking time I go out, they're either Narcaning me or they're fucking calling the paramedics.
Wow.
And end of November 2019, right around Thanksgiving,
Okay.
I woke up en route to the hospital in
Okay.
the same ambulance
Yeah.
4 times in 3 days.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And every time sign out AMA, have the dope dealer pick me up,
Yeah.
get high
Yeah.
immediately because they Narcan the shit out of me,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and go back to it, dude. And I was just like, after the last one, I left the house.
Uh-huh.
I went off the side of the road into the woods.
Yeah.
I did my shot trying to kill myself. And I
Mhm.
don't remember, but I guess I didn't go out immediately
Okay.
because I had walked back up towards the road and I almost made it to the road, and the house where we were chilling
Mhm.
is like directly across the street. And I guess I made it to the road, and a car driving by stopped and called the paramedics because my legs were sticking out into the middle of the road
Oh, Jesus.
from the bushes. And the paramedic told me he hit me with intravenous Narcan 6 times.
Wow. Jesus
And,
Christ.
he was like, after 4, we don't have to keep going.
Oh, my fucking God,
We
dude.
can pronounce you dead at that point if you don't come back with 4.
Oh,
There's really like a state mandate
yeah.
because there's so many overdoses going on
Yeah.
at this time.
You can only use so many.
that they
on so
can only
many
use so
people.
many on one person because they need it for the next fucking 10 calls because they're all
Yeah.
going to be ODs.
Jesus Christ. So you passed that.
And he was
limit.
like, I don't know why. I kept hitting you.
You got a defiant paramedic saving your life.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, you know what? I need fucking help.
Yeah.
I need help. More than just with this drug problem. I don't know how to live my life.
Yeah.
I think that in that moment, that's when I did step 1 here in my head.
Mm.
I admitted I was an addict, and my entire fucking life was unmanageable.
Yeah.
Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, unmanageable.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where to turn for help. I had
Yeah,
tried in the period of 3 years me and her were together. We had tried going to AA meetings out there in
Oh,
Alabama.
God. I can imagine.
Dude, it's like 85-year-old white men that I'm never going to hear myself in them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I just couldn't relate. And
Yeah.
all they would tell me is just don't drink.
Yeah.
Just don't
Oh,
drink.
no.
And I'm like, motherfucker, I want to shoot heroin in my neck. You know what I mean? I just couldn't identify with these people.
I couldn't either.
And, I tried, but there was so little NA meetings that
Mhm.
I never had been to an NA meeting until I come out here.
Oh,
Never.
shit.
Yeah. And So I didn't know where to turn for help.
Yeah.
But you remember in the beginning, I told you she said that she was involved with Celebrate Recovery.
Mhm.
That's because her mom, just being the mother of an addict, was involved with Celebrate Recovery in their church.
Oh,
So,
okay, gotcha.
I had been there a few times to the meetings or whatever. So I reached out to her mom, which I thought was going to be a huge mistake. I thought there's no way this woman's ever going to help
she would
me.
hate you. and
Yeah,
all that.
I was convinced that her whole family was going to hate me, and half of them do.
I could see that.
You know, but her mom and I are still extremely close to this day.
Wow.
And I told her, like, hey, I need help. And it just so happened right before then, I went in. I was actually working for this tree service,
Mhm.
you know, when I could get to work.
Mhm.
And I went in, and shortly after my girlfriend had passed, you
Mhm.
know, work knew I was going through a tough time, so that was really cutting me a lot of slack. But I come in this particular morning, and it was raining, so we wasn't working. I was just there to pick up my paycheck.
Yeah.
And she was like, I need you to drug test. And I was like, I can't.
Okay.
I was like, I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
She's like, what for? I was like, probably everything.
Yeah. I'll save you a test.
Yeah. And she was like, so here's the deal. You're officially fired.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
You need to go get on methadone or Suboxone,
Mhm.
and then we'll take you back. But you need to go get help.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, can I chill here until checks get here? The car that I had borrowed to drive up there was like sitting dead ass on empty. I couldn't have left if I wanted to.
Mhm.
And I was like, I need to sit here until the checks come in because I have no gas.
Mhm.
She was like, sure. And I was like, you know what? Can I use the computer to try to,
Mhm.
you know, find some help?
Sure.
She said, sure. So first thing I Googled is free rehabs in California. Salvation Army San Diego is the first pop-up.
Ooh.
I call.
You
I
called
talk
them?
to the intake coordinator.
Yeah.
She sends me over the intake form.
Yeah.
The pre-intake form,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I fill it out, email it back, and she tells me we typically don't take people from out of state because the homeless rate is so high here.
Yeah.
And our success rate is really high for those that graduate, but our graduation rate is
It's
really low.
really low. It is.
So
it's a hard program.
She was like, if you don't graduate and you have nobody here to fall back on, we don't want to contribute to the homelessness problem. And I was like, I got family in San Francisco.
You made up some lie.
I did.
Fuck yeah.
And she was like, I was like, so do you have a bed for me or no?
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, I can't tell you that. All I can tell you is get here and we'll talk.
Wow.
So my girlfriend's mom bought my plane ticket here.
Holy shit.
When I reached out and asked for help, I had already found this place. And I guess it was about a week after I found the place that I flew out here.
Mhm.
And I was still so far gone that I had no clue where in California San Diego was. I didn't even care.
We're a hidden little gem here.
It wasn't until the day before that I flew here that I looked it up and was like, holy shit.
Yeah, we're almost in
I
Mexico.
fucking lucked out, dude. This is dope, you know? I'm like, I'm right by LA. You know, that's the only thing I really knew is LA, San Francisco.
Yeah. The big ones.
Yeah. Humboldt.
Yeah.
That's all
For sure.
That's all I really knew about California. And
We're a low-key city.
yeah. Low key the bomb though, bro.
Yes. For sure.
So I come out here and I go to the Salvation Army. I flew out on a Friday.
Oh, okay.
So I got here on a Friday night. So I had Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, intake Monday morning.
Oh, okay. You got a whole.
So I tried to crash out in the fucking airport the whole weekend. Didn't happen. Right. I made it Friday night and halfway through Saturday night.
Yeah.
And
they caught on
around 10:30 Saturday night. Harbor PD.
Oh Jesus.
Come up and ask me for my ID.
Yeah.
Like, why are you hanging out in the airport? You know, do you have an outgoing flight? And I even showed them the intake thing. I was like, look, I'm from Alabama. I flew here to go to rehab.
Yeah.
I'm really just trying to chill here until Monday morning. I'll be gone.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm kicking too, by the way. So
Oh,
I'm
great.
fucking miserable.
Yeah.
in this airport, dog.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fucking miserable. It's just fucking puking and
So you kind of were drawing attention, probably.
yeah, absolutely. And so they're like, man, go hang out downtown. You can't stay here. And I'm like, fucking great, bro. My phone was dead. I had no clue how to get to the Salvation Army from the airport.
Yeah.
No money to get it on the bus or nothing, you know, for food or anything.
Yeah.
And so I walked down to the trolley station
Uh-huh.
closest to the airport.
Okay.
And it was like the main hub trolley station right there, Santa Fe.
Oh yeah,
trolley
yeah,
station,
yeah.
right.
Santa Fe, yeah.
And I slept behind some bushes right there that night. And there was these fucking rats, bro. They were all climbing in the bushes and shit. And I had this jar of peanuts. I was fucking throwing peanuts so they try to stay in one area.
Yeah.
Keep them away from me.
Get away from you. Oh God.
And then I got directions from some homeless dude that gave me directions to the Salvation Army. He's like, shit, you're on the same street. Just walk straight up the fucking road till you see it.
Oh, this is the old one.
Yeah, it's downtown.
Yeah.
And so I got there. And so Sunday night, I slept at the doorstep of Salvation Army.
Jesus Christ.
Monday morning, they fucking brought me breakfast. I couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
I did the intake. And I got in. And I did really good. And then COVID happened.
Oh, yeah.
Right around my 90 days.
Oh, yeah. That.
COVID happened.
Yeah.
And they locked us down.
Jesus Christ.
And it's already a pretty much lockdown program. So
yeah, that's true too.
I was going stir crazy nuts, bro. And I got that first stimulus check, tax return, all that at the same time.
While you're in treatment.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
On lockdown.
Yeah.
2 weeks away from graduating.
Oh, no.
My roommates and I are up telling war stories, and they all went to sleep.
Yeah.
I laid there staring at the ceiling like, fuck, I got $2,000.
Oh, man.
And I got dressed and I left in the middle of the night. So I didn't have to face
The
anybody.
classic junkie
I
exit out the
didn't want
door.
to face anybody. I didn't want to be like, I'm done, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be talked out of it.
I actually did that myself. Clean and sober. Stays
Yeah.
clean and sober, but I did the same thing.
And I went down to 12th and Imperial. I found some dope. I got loaded. I spent 2 days out there. And then I bought a Greyhound ticket back home to Alabama.
Oh, no
And
shit.
I rode the bus home. Fucking sucked.
Miserable.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
But then I got home, and I told myself, even though I got loaded for a few days here, I told myself, you know, everybody at home needs to know that I graduated.
Oh,
Number one.
God, yeah.
Number two, I'm not going to use any drugs
Mm-hmm.
when I get home. I'll smoke weed, but that's it.
I see.
That didn't happen. I got home and was immediately strung out on heroin.
Okay.
Fentanyl, too, at this time.
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl was really, really taking off, right?
So it is predominant in Birmingham?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure now, yeah.
Oh, no shit.
But at this time, yeah, it was just really getting big. You know,
Yeah.
you could still predominantly find heroin, but a lot of it was being mixed with fentanyl.
I see.
But then when I come back, everybody's got straight fentanyl.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't want that.
I started doing straight fentanyl, and I was doing meth every day too.
Oh, man.
So for 4 months almost, I stayed running the streets, getting high every day, and dude, I was covered in abscesses.
Wow.
I got scars all down the backs of my legs.
Yeah.
On my arms here.
Yeah.
Just fucking covered in abscesses. I had like 12 of them at one time.
Oh, man.
And I was like, fuck, dude, I can't do this anymore.
Uh-huh.
I can't do this. And I reached back out to my girlfriend's mom again.
Oh, Jesus.
And my mom this time because she got all that ADD money.
Oh, okay.
And so they bought me another plane ticket back out here.
Wow.
I was so sick the day that my flight was supposed to leave. I missed my first flight.
Ah.
My aunt took me to the airport and refused to leave me there. I was fucking begging her to take me to get high.
Yeah.
You know, and I had never done that with her before, but I was just sick.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Desperate.
I'm going to rehab right now. You can't let me fucking leave here without fucking heroin.
Yeah.
Like, I have to get high right now. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I was begging, and she refused.
Wow.
And she was like, I can't take you to do that.
Wow.
And I was like, then just fucking leave me here, please. Just leave me here.
Yeah.
So she eventually did. About 30 minutes before my flight was supposed to take off. So I was calling every fucking dealer I got as soon as she left.
Yeah.
And one of them was like, I'm on my way, but they fucking, dude, they just lollygagged. And like 5 minutes before my flight was supposed to leave, I go walking in the main door like, I'm supposed to be on this flight. And she's like, you missed that flight. It takes at least 15, 20 minutes to get through TSA or whatever it's called, the airport security.
Yeah.
That flight's gone. You missed that flight.
Yeah.
But thankfully it was during COVID. So I went to the front desk and she was like, let's see if there were seats available on a flight that was like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, I'll take it. Thank you. Now I got time. I got a taxi, went to the fucking hood, got dope.
Oh my God.
Went back to the airport. And so I flew here with heroin hidden.
Yes. Okay.
You can leave that up to the imagination.
Okay, gotcha.
And so I got out here, and then, of course, I did what I had. I bought another gram out here.
Okay.
And that's the first time I realized that the drugs here suck.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so... but I wound up... I did all that.
Yeah.
I bought, and then I went to the Salvation Army. So initially, my thinking was... is I'm going to come out here and I'm going to find a detox to go to because now I got Medi-Cal from the first time I was in Salvation Army. They hooked me up with Medi-Cal, food stamps, all that shit.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, I can go and find a detox this time. And I don't have to kick cold turkey.
Yeah.
No detoxes would do in intakes.
Oh.
They call it, and the ones that were full.
Yeah. They're
The
hard
intake coordinator at Salvation Army and the program director tried. They really fucking tried.
Yeah.
Couldn't find nowhere.
Yeah.
And they come out and they was like, David, we got bad news. You're going to have to either cold turkey it or you have a choice to make here, And I was fucking terrified. But I prayed to a power greater than myself that I didn't even know what it was at that point in time. And I was just like, don't let me move from this fucking spot. Because you have to pee clean to get into the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
You can be dirty for marijuana, but everything else has to be out of your system.
Oh, shit.
And predominantly, they won't take you if you're going to kick.
Yeah.
They're not a detox facility, and they can lose their license if something happened to you or whatever.
Okay, gotcha.
But they knew me, so they did me a huge favor. But I slept outside for fucking 5 days, dude.
Ooh.
Did not move from the front door.
Wow,
of the program.
dude.
And all the guys was bringing me stuff out and
That's
trying
really
to help.
That's cool.
But I couldn't hold down water. I was shitting on myself. I was peeing on myself. I've never been that sick in my whole life. That's the worst kick that I ever experienced.
Yeah. All thanks to
so
Alabama.
Yeah,
the Alabama
dude.
fentanyl.
Yeah, dude. And when I finally got in, so what they were doing was like they had a quarantine room set up where you have to go to, and then you have to go be tested for COVID. When it comes back negative, you can do work therapy.
Yeah.
They let me sit in that room for a week before they even sent me to get tested.
Wow.
Yeah, they really saved my life, dude.
Wow.
And I was able to lay in that room, which had a bathroom in it because it was one of the kitchen rooms. And I literally would just lay in the floor of a fucking free rehab shower. So fucking gross, bro.
Yeah.
Just laid in the fucking floor of that shower. That's the only relief I got was that hot shower.
Yeah.
And I fucking graduated that program, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Second time was a charm.
Yeah, I fucking graduated and I stayed clean like 9 months, 10 months in all. And then I used crystal 1 or 2 times.
Okay.
And then stayed clean 3 months, used crystal 1 time. Stayed clean 4 months, used crystal
So
1
it's a
time.
cycle going on now.
Yeah. And then just over 14 months ago, the girl that I was dating at that time, I caught cheating on me right before Christmas.
Oh, great. Yes.
And I left and I went to a hotel out in El Cajon. and I did fentanyl, and just one time. I did crystal and fentanyl.
Okay.
And I don't know, dude. I was just at my lowest of lows within myself. You know, I had a job. You know, I had some form of stability.
So everything on the surface was going great.
Somewhat, yeah.
To a degree, but like inside you were just fucking dying.
I was just dying, dude. I just fucking hated life. I hated myself. I hated everyone around me. I just wasn't coping with life very well.
Yeah.
And a guy that worked at the Salvation Army when I was there reached out to me randomly.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, dude, you should come to this fucking meeting at God's Garage. And I was like, you know what? I'll be there. And I was almost broke, and we were out for Christmas, New Year's at my job.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that I was about to be laid off, but I was broke. And so I took an Uber as close as I could get, which wasn't very far.
Yeah.
And then I fucking walked all the way to God's Garage from like where the roller coaster is.
Mission. But yeah.
So
that's a middle mission. That's a few, like 3 or 4 miles.
From there.
Yeah.
And I had a suitcase, a sleeping bag, and a big jar of marijuana. and that's all I had. I had actually been smoking weed for 4 or 5 months at that point.
Yeah.
And I went to that fucking meeting, dude, and I heard my sponsor was leading that meeting that night, and I heard a clear and concise message of hope. And they called on me to share, and I was like, I got loaded today, I can't share. I shared at a burning desire. I went up directly after the meeting, and I asked that dude to be my fucking temporary sponsor.
Yeah.
And he's still my sponsor today.
Full on. He won the job.
Yeah. Nick was there, and I had known him for a couple of years. Nick Darren from STC.
Yes. Yeah, that's my previous guest.
Yeah. He I talked to him about, maybe getting in there.
Yeah.
In his sober living, and that dude saved my fucking life, man.
Fuck yeah.
He let me come in and crash, and I couldn't even pay for, almost a month. I didn't pay him shit.
Yeah. So you were just crashing in his sober living couch.
Yeah, he just let me in, dude. And
wow.
Well, 2 nights on the couch, and then I got a bed.
Nice.
And right down the road from the Serenity shop. And
okay. Yeah,
I got laid off from work, so I was going to fucking meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting.
Yeah.
And I wound up doing like 160 something meetings in 90 days.
Wow. So this is probably when I met you then.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was calling my sponsor every fucking day for 30 days. I was working the steps. Life really started to turn, and I was saying these fucking affirmations in the mirror that I didn't believe.
Yeah.
And I was writing gratitude lists of shit that hadn't happened yet, that I was just claiming was going to happen, and something fucking changed in me. And for the first time in my life, I felt worthy of recovery.
Nice.
And I felt worthy to have a life better than what I thought that I was always destined to have. And I made a choice, right, that I'm going to stay clean no matter fucking what.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
And, dude, just the fucking freedom that come with that choice, and the choice to forgive myself on a regular basis.
Yeah.
The choice to forgive my family for the trauma on a regular basis. And so that shit happen. I say regular basis because sometimes I have to, in my head say, I fucking forgive you.
Yeah.
I fucking forgive you. When it pops up, I'm like, you know what? I fucking forgive you. Because I've spent my whole life either trying to fit in, running from fear, or fucking dwelling on the past.
Yeah, that's about to say that.
And I made a choice not to live like that anymore, And this is the good part. Now I get to talk about now, right?
Yes.
14 months and 6 days.
What's your date?
December 19, 2020.
Fuck yeah.
Or is it
2021?
2021.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and dude, I wound up getting a really good job. I'm the assistant manager at one of the SD sober living houses.
Hell yeah, represent.
Yeah, and you know, my life has just drastically taken off. I'm one test away from having my GED.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I just got the math
Oh, the
portion left,
math
and,
portion.
and I got my GED.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I got my fucking driver's license.
Hell yeah.
Which
That's a big
cost me
fucking deal.
fucking like $4,000, dude.
What?
Yeah.
What?
All these fucking driving without a license.
Oh,
this
okay.
shit
Okay,
that
that
I
makes
caught over the last year since I've been out of prison.
Yeah.
I had to pay all that fucking shit off back in Alabama, and you know, my
Gotcha.
sponsor sat down with me and mediated a letter to a judge back in Alabama.
Oh, really?
And I fucking got my driver's license. I have a vehicle.
Nice, dude.
A good job, you know. But the most important thing, I have hope.
Fuck yeah.
And I have freedom from active addiction.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And I found a new way to live.
Hell yeah, dude.
I say at every meeting I go to, I'm grateful I'm not dead. You know,
right.
I'm grateful for every opportunity that I get to turn my mess into a message, to hopefully touch that person that feels like they can't be touched.
Right.
Because I was that person.
Right.
So I just try to live that, you know, and not just say it here in this microphone, you know, but live it when I leave here.
Right.
And when I'm at work, and when I'm at school,
right,
and when I'm in the store,
right,
you know, just to carry myself in a way, you know, with these fucking key tags on my keys, you know, that shows that, God damn it, if I can do it, anybody can.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You know, and I really believe that.
Fuck yeah, dude. I like how you kind of touched on that. You know, it's not about, you know, how you carry yourself out when we're in a recovery meeting or when you're talking to somebody in recovery. It's how you live your life outside of that. That's your real journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
And fuck, dude, I'm so fucking grateful, man, that you came on, dude. Like, you know, like I said, I think you're a fucking good fucking dude, man. And you were somebody I literally had in my mind, like, I need to get this dude on my podcast. And it was so cool that you hit me up, like, I'm like, let's fucking do it.
Yeah, I was stoked.
Dude, I mean, you're you know what I mean, just keep doing what you're doing, man. I mean, you're doing pretty fucking good, man. Like, in my opinion, like, way better than I was at my 14 months. But that's a whole other story. Yeah. Dude, thank you so much, bro. I love you, dude.
I love you too, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir, man. Bye, everybody.